Are you always playing catch up? Are your employees encountering problems and then just dumping it on you instead of solving it themselves? That must be frustrating. Do you find that you're working 6, 7 days a week? You barely have time to spend with your family, let alone go on a vacation? Does that make any sense? Why did you start your business? You started your business so you could take control of your life, not let your business control you. What I'm going to talk about today is how you can double your revenue while taking 6 weeks off per year. There are things that you can do in your business to solve these problems, and I'm going to show you that over the next 25 minutes or so. This webinar is going to give you the tools and the techniques for you to make a difference as soon as you are done watching this. I want you to be able to go to tomorrow and make some conscious changes to improve your business, which will improve your life. My name is Alex Johnson. I'm a business coach, and in this webinar, I'm going to show you a simple way to double your revenue and have more free time. After years of management roles in Fortune 50 companies, in the last 20 running my business and coaching other small business owners, I discovered the secret to scaling my business. After being able to create the wealth and the lifestyle that me and my family wanted, and still be able to go on multiple vacations in 1 year, I felt the need to share this with other people. Sharing is caring. So I want to share the wealth. So now, when I work with my clients, I help them do the same thing. This strategy works for any business, no matter how small or large. So, if you're looking to increase your sales, to satisfy your clients, keep your employees happy without working nonstop, I want you to stick around because I'm going to show you how it's done. So, my question to you, are you constantly putting out fires? Are you missing deadlines? How about working 60 hours a week or even 50 hours a week? You shouldn't be working any more than 40. Personally, my plan for this year is to cut my hours down to 30 hours a week and still maintain the revenue that I am accustomed to. Do you need help with your business processes? Do you need more systems in place? What about accountability? Do you need something or someone to keep you accountable so you have a consistent going throughout your company? Do you have the right systems in place? Does everybody in your company know what to do, when to do? They just step into a job and they know because it's documented. They have the answers. They know what the outcomes are. They use their skill set to make it better. Is that how your company is? Do you want a clear vision with a solid business plan? Do you know where you're going to go in a year, 5 years, 10 years? That's where you need to be. And then most importantly, do you have time for vacation? Do you have time for your family? Are you able to spend time with your wife or your kids or your significant other or your friends? That is the purpose in life. I have a customer They have a multi-million-dollar business. They have lots of employees all over the nation, and they make good money. Not only are they multi-million in revenue, they're multi-million in profits. However, they feel like they're working 24/7. They're always working, nights, weekends. They're paying the price for that money. And who's paying the price? Their family. Every problem is dumped on their lap. Every week is a new challenge. Is that you? I have another client. They own a franchise business. They thought they were buying into systems already in place. They need better systems. They need vacations. They're just working 24/7. They do the same thing that their employees do, and they sacrifice their family for their business. It should not be an either or. Things need to change. And that's the transformation I'm talking about. We want you to be able to prevent problems before they occur. We want your staff to solve problems on their own. They should come to you with solutions, not problems. Your projects should be completed ahead of time, not on time, but ahead of time. And you need to be working less than 40 hours a week. That is the American dream. Making a lot of money, doubling your revenue, and working less than 40 hours a week. Do you think Bill Gates works 40 hours a week? Of course not. You need to also have effective business processes. You need to have systems in place, frameworks that you and your employees can step into, can do. They need to know what's going to happen after when they do their job. You need to have the right systems running your business. We don't want your business running you. You want systems running your business. And you need to have a clear vision and a solid business plan. Do you have that? Well, we're going to talk through that so you're going to be able to do that by the time you're done with this webinar. Because the goal is when you're done with this webinar, you will know what to do, how to do it, when to do it, so you could take 6 weeks off a year. That's the goal. Your business should give you the freedom to enjoy life. So you're probably asking, how? How is this possible? Well, let me explain it to you. There's 3 components to the secret weapon that I'm going to show you. One, you need to clarify your customer. It's the first thing. You need to know the customer like the back of your hand. You need to understand what they want, who they are, and what's important to them. That's the first thing that's very, 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 very important. Number 2, you need to have a clear company mission. You need to clarify your company mission and make it clear. You, your employees, and your customers should all know where your company is going, what your priorities are, what your goals are. Everybody should be on the same page. Number 3, you need to have systems in place. You need to define your company systems. You need to understand what the important functions of your company are. Then you need to define them, improve them, make sure your employees understand them, and then implement them. Let me dig into it a little further. Let's talk about your customer. Something to think about your customer is they are the hero, not you or your company. The customer's the hero, and you want to help them win. The best way to get your customers' attention is by telling their story. Do you know what your customer's story is? What do they call a win? You need to understand who that customer is. Is your typical customer male or female? Are they older, in their 20s, 30s, 40s? What kind of income do they make? Does your customer, are they maybe lower income, middle class, upper income? Is your customers a company? And what type of company do you typically sell to? You need to know that. You need to have a profile of your customer. Then after you know that profile, then you got to clarify exactly what they're looking for. The first thing you're going to want to do is start with their problem. You want to know what keeps your customer up at night. The only reason people are interested in buying from you is because they're trying to solve a problem. So you got to know what that problem is. When you know what your customer's problem is, what their pain points are, then you become the solution. That's the second stage. You're the solution, your company, your product, what your service that you provide. When you can solve their problem, then they're loving you. When you position your product as a solution to your customer's problem, the perceived value greatly increases. You want to solve your customers' problems. Very important. So you need to think about that. While you're watching me speak, I want you to think about, what is my customer's problem? Because you know who your ideal customer is. We talked about that previously. And then that ideal customer, what is their biggest problems? Maybe it's 3 different problems, but you need to know what they are. Then you need to identify how your product and services solve their problems. Because when you position your product as a solution to their problems, then your perceived value is huge. Then number 3, you got to paint the stakes. They need to know, your customers need to know what's at risk if they don't buy from you, if they don't use you. They need to know what they're going to lose out on. FOMO. We know what FOMO is, fear of missing out. You need to create that in your customer. And you also need to let them know what happens when they work with you, how great everything becomes. Unless something can be won or lost, your customers won't buy from you, and they won't be motivated to take an action. That's where the FOMO comes in, fear of missing out. They need to feel if they don't do business with you, they're going to miss out. They might fail. They might not achieve greatness. And you need to show them what that greatness is. That's your job. You need to paint the stakes for your customer. You got that? I hope you're taking good notes. Next, the mission. This is about you now. In your company, you need to clarify your company mission. You need to make sure that everyone knows where the company is going, so they feel like they're part of the journey instead of just working for somebody. So you need to establish that mission with your customer, with your employees, and let them be bought into it. And then when you have that mission, you want to make sure that your customers know what it is, because they need to be bought into your mission. Because if you're going to be taking care of their problems, they need to know that you're in it for the long haul, that you have a clear and concise mission that's going to help them out. So let's think about that. You need to know what your mission is, need to make sure your employees are on board with it, and make sure your customers know it and buy into it. So let's break down how you're going to clarify your mission. First, number 1, we've got to introduce the conflict. What does that mean? Well, the conflict is what makes the customer and your employees care about your company. Why do they care? That's because there's something wrong that your company is solving. There's a conflict out there. There's a problem, and your company is the solution. Remember? We're solving a problem. And this is a problem that your employees feel strongly about. And it's a problem that it's your customer's problem, so you're solving it. So you got to introduce that conflict. You need to know what problem is your company solving for your customers, and the people you hire should care about that problem. And when they do, they'll care about your company. Now, second step, this is what you want to do. Once again, I hope you're taking good notes right here. You got to define a destination. A destination? Yeah, a destination is where you want your company to be in the next years. When somebody is working for you, they want to know there's a future, that you're trying to get somewhere. And you know what? Your customers want to know that too. So you need to know where your destination is. What is that? That could be solving a big problem, a multitude of problems. It might be revenue. It might be market share. It might be geography. Where are you going? You need to define a destination where your company is going to be going. And your employees and your customers need to be bought into that. And then number 3, foreshadow the stakes. What does that mean? Want to look out. This is what the problem is. This is what's at stake. It's important to make your customers and employees feel that they're in on a secret, because your company knows what's going to happen in the future. And they are part of this secret mission to solve it. And your customers are going to want to be along with the ride. Of course, they want to have that superpower helping them out. And then your employees, they want to work for that superpower. So you want to foreshadow the stakes. So let me recap. When you're defining your company mission, 1, identify the conflict that your company is solving. So that way your customers and your employees care about it. 2, define a destination. Where is your company going to be in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years? If you don't know where you're going to go, how do you know how to get there? Define a destination so both your employees and your customers know where you're going. 3, foreshadow the stakes. It's important to make sure your customers and employees feel that they're in on a secret, that they are part of a mission to solve, to fix, to improve the world through your company. My mission is make you successful. That's foreshadowing the stakes. When I work with my clients, I'm there to help them make money so they can have more free time. Now, let's talk about the third step in how you're going to create more free time. Is systems. You got to define your company systems. This is so important. You're going to know who your customer and what the problem is. You're going to have a mission that both your customers and your employees are part of and bought into, they're invested in. But 3, you got to have systems in place. If you're just running around willy-nilly, that's all you're going to do. That's why you're working 24/7. We need to start streamlining your daily tasks with efficient business systems that will help make sure that all the responsibilities are covered in one place, which results in better productivity and efficiency. That's what we're talking about. So we need to look at what's going on in your company. This is what I do with my clients all the time. I have them document what the major functions of their company are. From beginning to end, the customer journey, we define that customer journey. That's one aspect of it. From first contact till they're satisfied. And we talk about the functions of the company that takes them through that journey. Keep in mind, that also includes not only production, but it also includes your finances, your CFO, your human resources, because who's your number one asset? Your employees. If you don't take care of them, nothing works well. We're talking about sales and marketing. We're talking about fulfillment. These are all major components. Talking about management. So, first thing I have you do is define the major functions of your company. Then, what do? we look at that and we start streamlining your daily tasks. When we go from beginning to end with the customer journey, we want to streamline what happens because we're trying to increase productivity with efficient business systems through solving these daunting challenges for exciting results. What does that mean? Well, we're going to take the day-to-day and we're going to say, okay, how can we think outside the box? Let's make this more efficient. Let's solve some of these challenges that's just tedious. Lots of mistakes are made. Let's fix them. We get together as a team, make it more efficient. We streamline it. So that way we get exciting results for our customer. We're always customer focused. Remember that. The second part of defining your company's systems is track responsibilities. For each stage of the customer journey, who is responsible? Who's the key person? It should not be you because you're the CEO. You want to keep track of significant responsibilities in one place. So that way it leads to improved operations and customer satisfaction. So for every component of the customer journey, there needs to be somebody in your company that's responsible for it. And if you have employees or contractors, it should not be you. Now, it could be you if you're a solopreneur or a 1-2 person operations. But the key thing is, for every element of the customer journey, we need to know who's responsible. So that way there's somebody who's looking at improving the operations and customer satisfaction. Then the third part of defining your company systems is innovation and optimize. There we go. When we're looking at these key functions, we're tracking the responsibilities. Well, then we want to start replacing outdated systems and manual labor with technology and systems that will increase sales without sacrificing focus. Because isn't that the goal? Sales. Taking care of our customers generates sales, and everything in the middle is about the sales. Because if you don't sell anything, everything comes apart. So, third part, innovation and optimize. That's what we want to look at. When we understand what the major systems are, we know who's responsible, then we start looking at innovation and optimizing it. And that could be technology, it could be systems, it could be combining with other things. There's a lot of components to it. So when we streamline, track responsibilities, innovate and optimize, we have defined our company vision. So let's think about, why is this working? We've got the 3 things I want you to look at. 1, your customer. Understand the customer pain and have an empathy-driven brand or business. What does that mean? You empathize with your customer. You know what their pain is. You feel the pain. Solving their problems is key and integral to what your company does. Your customers need to feel that. 2, the mission statement needs to be engaging and memorable among the team. If your employees are not bought into what you're doing, your customers aren't going to feel it either. Your customers want a long-term partner. They don't want a transactional situation. So they want to buy into your long-term mission. It's very, 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 very important. And then the third, you got to get these systems in place. Systems are the way to ensure your business delivers consistent results. Remember we talked about they could be processes, procedures. We're talking about streamlining operations, understanding who's responsible, innovation, optimizing. That's what we want to do with your company. So we tie everything together, your customers, your mission, and your systems. And that's when you start to have an efficient, running, highly profitable business, always focused on the customer. That's what the whole point of being a business is. Take care of your customers, take care of your company, take care of your employees, you're going to take care of yourself. So I've just given you the secret. We'll recap it. But let's talk about what some of my customers have said. Tammy Webb, she owns All Things Boudoir. It's a national photography firm, a boudoir photography firm for women. It's an amazing company, been around almost a couple decades, all female employees. And she said, my biggest challenge was scaling my business. It motivated me to take my business to the next level. After we started working together, things at once took a hard south with my company. Instead of working on scaling, we've been working on finding these issues and fixing them. Alex knows what questions to ask to get you thinking about things in your business that are critical, but you may be missing. I've always gone on alone with deciding and finding solutions in my company. I have done well, but having Alex to support, challenge, and motivate makes me feel like I'm not alone in all those decisions. He helps take the weight off my shoulders. And when we do that, we're going through the process of giving her more time with her family. Let's look at Zane Carlson with Athea Consulting. They are a software company for the legal industry, very successful. Before meeting with Alex, I felt a lot of uncertainty about creating a sales and marketing process. I had some ideas for what I needed to do, but I was lacking specific direction. His coaching brought clarity to my target market and confidence in executing my plan. If you're thinking about hiring Alex, I'll tell you, he helps you see the big picture. If you're lacking clarity or certainty, he understands what piece of the puzzle is missing. Once again, you notice he focused on sales, his customer. That's really what we did. Who's your customer? Once he figured that out, he was moving. So let's recap what we've talked about. We've now established that your customer is the hero, not you, the customer. And we understand their pain points. First thing we got to do. Two, your customer's pain point and your solution is one of the essential pieces of the puzzle. When you solve their problem, they're loving you. Next, three, after having done all this, the next step would be clarity in your company mission. So everybody's going in the same direction. You, your employees, and your customers, you're all on the same page, all on the same team. So when we have a clear company mission, it is then a lot easier to define your systems that satisfy your company, that satisfy your customers. It doubles your revenue and lets you take 6 weeks of vacation each year. You have just learned the secret. So I want to thank you. Once again, I'm Alex Johnson. If you're interested in going deeper and explore how this relates specifically to you, just schedule a call with me. My coaching model works best with companies grossing over $1 million. You could go to my website, schedule a call, and we can talk. Once again, thank you for attending my webinar. If you're interested in going deeper and exploring how this relates, book a discovery call with me. On this call, what we'll talk about is how your company mission relates to your personal goals, what you should do when you're unsure of your customers' pain points. I'll help you clarify that. And then how you can improve your company's systems immediately. That's what I will help you do. That's what I do for a living. And then how we can be working together going forward. Now, as a gift, because you stayed for the full webinar, all 30 minutes of it, you're going to get a 10% discount on your business coaching with me. Once again, if we work together, I'm going to give you a 10% discount just because you stayed for this entire webinar. So if you have any questions, you could go ahead and ask them through the webinar platform, and I will get back with you. I encourage you to ask me questions on how you clarify your customer, how you define your company mission, how you define and clarify your company systems. Because when you bring all that together, you will double your revenue and you will have more free time. And that's the whole point of being in business. Thank you very much.